Dearest listeners,
Book babes and book bros.
welcome to Book Babble. I'm Rachel,
And I'm Tanya, and we're the Witlet Women, your host for the day.
and today we have Amy with us for a rapid fire AMA. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, my name is Amy Tackett, and I am a psychological thriller horror author.
Well, Amy, we're excited to have you on, and we're excited to get babbling. So are you ready to babble?
Yes, always.
Awesome. I will put 5 minutes on the clock and we'll get started.
Okay,
All right. So we're going to start with just the basics. Can you tell us about one of the books or the books that you're writing currently?
sure. So I'm currently working on a sequel to my debut novel. It's called The Launch, and it is so I normally write psychological thriller. This is like a horror romance mashup. So it's a bit unique. It's unlike anything I've ever written. But that's because the characters from the first book, the Gala, this is just kind of where their stories landed, and sometimes that dictates coloring out of the lines. So I hope my readers will enjoy it, but it's definitely different.
Well, I can tell you that your readers have enjoyed what you've done so far because a fan asked, how do you come up with your jaw-dropping twists? And do you start with them before you start writing? Or is it like something that just comes up after you start that?
Yeah, so every book is a little bit different. I'm definitely more of a plotter. I will say I usually know the twist before I start anything. Like normally when I get an idea, I know how I want the book to start and I know how I want the book to end. And then I've got to work my way backwards and kind of meet in the middle and see, how do I get there? Like what character motivations are going to cause, X, Y, Z. So most of the time it happens just I get an idea because I have a lot of anxiety. So I'm like, ooh, what if like da da da. And that's how most of them come up. But I will say, as I'm drafting, some organic like micro plot twists will, like start to surface sometimes. So those are always fun too to work back in.
Sounds exciting.
It's exciting. Um, so kind of in that vein, what are some of the things that you don't want to write about? Like specific tropes or scenarios. Are there things that you don't want
I'm really big on like police procedural, like detective work. I have a novella that has like a little bit of that in there, but I think that for me, those aren't super exciting for me to read, so I don't really like to write those. Um, and I guess also like on the romance side of things, I don't like to write like open door spice. So in the book I'm writing now, it does have some romance elements to it, but it's all closed door. Um, but those are probably kind of it. Other than that, I'm pretty open to, whatever strikes me.
That's amazing. I am excited for all of the new stuff that you're putting out. Given that you do have a new book coming out, who is your favorite character, or that you're working on one, sorry. Who's your favorite character that you've written so far out of anything
Oh
and
my
why?
gosh, that's tough. Um, I've really had a lot of fun with this character named Solstice Blackwood. He's in my debut and he's in the sequel, and he's like this singer, rock star, just comedic relief. He's like half British, half Australian, and I have no idea where he came from. He flies out of me. He pops off the page. I think he's hilarious. My readers seem to really enjoy him. But I also had a lot of fun in Secret Santa, which is my most popular book, writing a character named Scarlet, um, for a completely different reason. I don't necessarily want to say what that is because it's kind of a spoiler. So go read the book and tell me what you think of Scarlet by the end.
Got it. Jotting that down right now.
This is so cool. I'm so excited for this. I love psychological thrillers too, so it's exciting. Um, what inspired you to get involved in this?
So I've wanted to be a writer since I was a little girl. I mean, I wrote like my first quote unquote essay when I was in second grade. It wasn't very good. I think I used the word very like 20 times, but I've just always loved writing since then. And then, I didn't really take it seriously until kind of like my last semester of college, which like plot twist, I was going to graduate with a journalism degree and I was like, I don't really want to be a journalist. And I took this creative writing class and it all clicked for me. So after I was done having babies, I've got two kids. I was like, all right, it's time. And I just started from there.
That's amazing. So, okay, speaking of your writing journey, what are there any secrets that you can share with us about that journey or about your career that no one else knows?
Mm, that's tough. I don't know that I have a secret. Um, my I will say my debut novel started out as a short story in that college class I just mentioned. So the very ending scene was like the entire short story. And then 5 years later, I developed it into a full-length novel. So that's not a very good secret, but that's kind of all I got.
I'd say that's a good secret. Like that's such a fun little fact that like probably not many people know. To
Yeah.
know that you started 5 years prior to publishing, like that shows that you just like put a lot of work into it and you had that stuff floating around in your head for so long. Like
Yeah, these characters have lived with me literally forever.
yeah, I love that. Okay, well, good thing we are f through our 5 minute AMA, so we don't have to grill you on questions anymore. We'll put the AMA on Instagram, and the rest of the episode will go on YouTube and Spotify. So we're going to continue chatting.
Okay.
Amy, is there anything that you wanted to talk about specifically regarding your books or your career?
I just really enjoy, we talked about, psychological thrillers and kind of what inspired me to start writing, but specifically what inspired me to write like this genre I didn't too much touch on is my own battles with mental illness. So I think I really enjoy reading psychological thrillers because they help with my anxiety because I have a lot of fears of, like being abducted or my kids being taken or like, people breaking in my house, like XYZ. So I started reading these books, I think, like when I look back now, I started reading these because it gave me a sense of closure of like, okay, like it's not super random and spontaneous. It's usually like somebody close to you. It's usually like somebody that you let in your home, or, it's usually somebody that you've wronged. There's a lot of like revenge, and there's usually a lot of like mental illness attached to it. So kind of just like getting into the mind of like people, like why people do bad things, I think was very therapeutic for me. And so I just kind of naturally, that's what I started writing as well. Um, I've written a lot about depression and anxiety because those are things that I've dealt with, and suicide ideation as well. But on the flip side, I've also done a lot of research to write about PTSD, schizophrenia, psychopathy. And it's really fascinating. I think in another life, I was meant to be like a therapist or a counselor to some degree, but I'm not going back to school, so I'm just going to write about it for fun.
Yeah, I mean, I will say that once I
You
started
just keyed
diving.
in like,
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
go ahead.
I was gonna say once I started diving
Oh
in,
no, I was just going to talk about the fact that
I think there's a lag again. Sorry. I was gonna say that once I started diving into like dark romance, the thriller genre, all the psychological thriller genre, it did very similar things for me. Like I'm very anxious. I also have struggled with depression and anxiety my entire life. And having those resources there, like even though it's fiction, it is really nice and therapeutic to read something like that. So I personally appreciate you putting that kind of content out.
Yeah, that's great to hear. I always love
yeah.
when my books can like resonate with readers to some degree because sometimes I feel like, what am I really doing? Like, because I'm a Christian as well, and some of those themes are relevant in my books. And so sometimes I'm like, I don't know, should I be like, doing more stuff like in line with like gospel work? And is this like too like entertainment focused? But
Mhm.
um, hearing people say things like that and just reminding myself of why I write, it's like, okay, no, like God probably put this desire on my heart for a reason. It probably is beneficial to other people. Entertaining as it is, it's also, I think, there's always like a deeper theme or a deeper message in my books.
My gosh, I love that. I just actually like I just got baptized this year. I just
Aw.
started oh, my sister, I think
Uh-oh.
she lost connection. Um but yeah, I got baptized this year. I've really started like working on my faith even more recently,
That's
like
amazing.
last year or so. So I love that you have that in your books and that you use that as a driving force. That's amazing.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
You're
And
welcome.
I did want to say Rachel is actually a therapist, so I'm going to
Okay.
give her the floor, and I'm sure that she has tons to talk about now.
No, I'm like chopping at the bit. I'm so excited because I'm also Christian and I have my PhD in counselor education supervision with a focus on forensic mental health. And a lot
Very
of it
cool.
is because of the same innovations. I want to know what made people choose to do bad things because I don't think that people are innately bad. And so
Yeah.
it's really cool to see that in a similar way, my anxiety kind of drove me toward my path, and yours like did the same thing. So it was really cool to see that mirrored. And I'm super excited about your book.
Yeah, that's really neat. Both of you guys, Christian, you're a I cannot spout off all of those words you just said, but it sounds like you're a very good therapist.
I can't spout them off either, and I know I always introduce her as a therapist, and it's wrong, but that's how like I can't say what she said.
I am a
Motivation.
therapist. That's the crux of it.
Well, we are getting really, really close to the to our time. I did want to just ask, let me pull this up really quickly. Or not ask, but really just talk about this submission we received. I should have had it pulled up, but I
Mhm.
did not. There is a woman, Haley Azoe, I think I'm saying it correctly.
Yeah.
She said to ask if she's your favorite fan.
That's so fair. They're all my favorites.
I thought that was just the cutest, funniest submission. Like we've gotten some really fun things, but that one took the cake.
Yeah. Oh, that's so sweet. I do love her. She's local. I met her through a book club and she's read all of my books. And she just like, it's so cute. I love reader reactions and she always has the best ones, especially after she read my novella. She was like, you literally like broke my brain. And I was like, yay, I'm sorry, but like mission accomplished.
I think you might know one of my friends as well, Morgan.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, she
She's,
suggested that I reach out to you for this.
yeah. So she's in that same book club actually. So they're
Oh,
both great.
really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll join the book club now because I live in
Yeah.
Oregon, so
Oh, you do?
I
Yeah.
do, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm in
Um,
Springboro, Ohio, and their book club is in Kettering. So it's like a date night thing.
okay, got it. I mean, that's not that far
Yeah.
from where I'm at, so maybe I'll join too.
I'll be back there in September because I think they're going to read, they all read the Gala last March, I think, like a year ago. So they're all going to read the sequel this September. So maybe I'll meet you there.
Yeah, perfect time to join. All right, well, we are just at time, so I want to thank you, Amy, for joining us. I had such a good time talking to you today, and we can't wait for your next book to come out.
Yeah, thank you, ladies, so much. This was fun. I enjoyed it.
We did too. Thank you. Have a good one.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.